Hello and welcome on Sport Update on Trust TV. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. It's time to take you around the world of sport where we give you updates concerning happenings around it. And right now we start the show with Olawale Peters, who is in the studio to join us on this show for this hour. Good to have you.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure to be back to studio this evening.
Yes, we start with the first story. With the federal government charges public servants to imbibe physical fitness for optimal productivity. It's not all work, but at least we need to imbibe physical fitness, where Minister of Sport Development, John Olawale, was talking to civil servants to make sure they actually get fit physically in everything they do. It will enhance optimal productivity in everything they do. It will help them because their best will come out. In any sport you find yourself, in fact, if you cannot do any sport, just get yourself fit, because your health speaks a lot, or speaks volume when it comes to you performing your duty in any office where you find yourself as Nigerians or public servant. That's why we're looking at that particular first topic first. Federal government charges public servant to imbibe physical fitness for optimal productivity.
Yeah, a very good one. You know the reason why I'm laughing? I hope this will not be another avenue for them to reach their pocket.
So that we won't see monkeys swallowing millions.
Swallowing millions, and they will tell you they want to get a consultant to come and consult for them on the type of exercise that they need to do the morale.
Or get some fitness equipment.
This is Nigeria for you, but actually I think it's a very good one, and it's all about work-life balance, and it's something that is going to reduce the stress that people go through. And the mental health will be very okay also. So I think if you can really do this, and I think it will really help also. And it's a form of onboarding also in an organization. When you have everybody every Saturday, you do aerobics, you do this, so everybody will see themselves outside the office environment. So it goes beyond the physical exercise, and it promotes what they call also productivity also, and it also promotes the relationship management between yourself and your supervisor or your subordinate, because you see yourself outside the office and you'll be able to have some conversation that you cannot have during the office environment. So I think it's a very good one, and if they can do it, but they should have a process for it. There should be a maker and checker for it. They shouldn't leave it in the hands of the ministry to handle it. If they do that, believe me, massive corruption is going to happen over there. Let them have, since it is going to be a nationwide, it's for the federal government, maybe they can partner with the Ministry of Youth and Sport. They can partner with them. They have people that they are into this. They do it for them more like a corporate social responsibility. So it's not something that the money should be carved out from the ministry budget. They do that. We have National Stadium here. A lot of people, they go there, but every Saturday they can choose maybe twice every month. Let's meet at the National Stadium. We have a vehicle that will convey you, because most of this ministry, they have their own staff bus that will convey them, so they can look into all the nitty-gritty, the process that will make it very seamless. But I think it's a very good one, because once you are mentally stable, you are agile, you'll be able to do a lot of work. If you go to the ministry, how do you know that someone works in the ministry? It's by their physique. Most of the time when you see them, you say, look at him now. He's looking more like a ministry worker, a civil servant. Because when you see them, it's either you see them with pot belly, or you see them not looking very fit in one way or the other, with apologies to the civil servant, but that's nothing.
It's not even only the civil servant. We've seen some.
That's nothing but the truth. If you go in there, so they need to really imbibe it, and they should be careful of those that they will come in to do that. Before you go into that, there should be a proper medical health screening and check-up. Because most people, they don't really know the ailment they are battling with. So that someone that is asthmatic will not go and be playing ball at Jabi Lake, or where that is dusty, or be doing an exercise that is not, he or she is not supposed to do. So the first thing they need to do is compulsory medical screening for everybody to know your limits or your limitation. Then after that, they can now bring that one into it. So I think it's a very good program, a very good initiative coming from the ministry. From the ministry, we have good initiative, but our problem has been implementation. Implementation has been our problem. So I think it's a very good one.
A good move there to get civil servants to get at least fit for productivity when it comes to civil service. That's coming from federal government to see how they can give their optimal productivity to make sure they get fit in everything they do. At least talking about physical exercise every time. Good one coming from federal government. Hopefully this is the light of the day. And still talking about the federal government of Nigeria. This time around, they are seeking support from corporate organizations. Federal government urge corporate organizations to support grassroots sport development. When you look at grassroots sport development, is really suffering in Nigeria. Something must be done. We shouldn't be looking for finished mature product. We need to look for those products very, very raw or crude that we can at least maintain for them to become world champion or world beaters in different sports that will find ourselves. After all, we have the human resources. Right now, Nigeria with the population, we can harness so many trophies or medals worldwide. Right now, federal government urging corporate organizations to support grassroots sport development. I was in Asaba and I saw so many sport lovers, so many young athletes. It actually beat my imagination to see that there was no company that you will see maybe their banner or something at that stadium. It was strictly for Delta State government. No support from any corporate bodies. I'm like, okay, this particular organization is with tennis, is with taekwondo, is with gymnastics and all that. In fact, I saw a mother videoing and doing a live show that she's not happy for the fact that corporate bodies, despite the fact that Delta State, an oil-producing state, know all these companies situated here. Why can't they just support this event? We have better things that we are seeing concerning that moment, and it's really a very painful situation.
Yeah, it is a very painful situation, and I think it's something that the federal government, through the Office of the Ministry of Sport, they seriously need to look into. And if you look at countries that their sports are developing, it's not something that it's left in the hand of the government alone. Look at UK, for example, the Premier League that we watch, the La Liga that we watch. Sponsorship helps a lot. TV rights, clubs made a lot of money, a lot of millions on it.
Jersey sales.
So food, that is what we are talking about also. We have to go back to, it's like every good thing in this country was between the 1980s and 1990 and 1970. Because during this year also, that was when we have corporate organization that morally they will come out and said, we want to sponsor, we want to support, probably because of the government in power then. You don't need to make it compulsory 100%, but it's a way that you let them know, no, come on, you are a so-so company, you are operating at so-so axis, and you are in my state. I want you to take care of the sport, grassroots development in this state. I want them to do inter-house sports, where they go to fish out best 100 meters, 200 meters of footballers, and I want you to take that as a responsibility. I don't want you to come back to my office and say you want to give any kickback. Most of this money that the corporate organization can use, okay, to develop sport or even areas, for example, has gone into
separate hands,
into the back hand. You know the back hand I'm talking about. Yes, the
monkey, the snake, and all this.
So that is where the problem is. I remember those days, basketball. We're talking about grassroots development in basketball. What will you remember?
Milo. We don't want to mention the name.
You don't want to mention the name so that you come and pay for the advert before we do that. So we have them. We have also, there's some academy in Ilorin that if you are from that academy, people will know that the company are still existing in Nigeria up to today. All these companies we are talking about, they are still existing in Nigeria, and we have more companies that they even came after them also. So it's the Ministry of Sport that should find a way of bringing them in and support them. It's very simple. The government, they have more than enough to tackle than for them to say they want to be everywhere. They shouldn't be seen in everywhere now. Like rightly mentioned, Delta State is oil-producing company. So we have a lot of oil companies in there. And you're telling me that even the Commissioner for Sport or the state governor cannot call all these oil companies and say, oh, I want to host a National Youth Festival and the cost is 2 billion. I want you to take 50% of it. Are they going to say no? Because they know what they are getting from you. And it's a way of them also contributing to the government. If they are doing their financial statement, there is a caveat, there is a line that says corporate social responsibility, which they will tell you that this is the amount of money that we spend on corporate social responsibility. But unfortunately, the money is going to some individual ads, which is not really good for us. If we want to develop, we need to call them in to support the game of sport in Nigeria. We need to
for sport to develop in Nigeria, we really need the support of corporate organizations to make sure they boost that particular sector. As it is right now, sport has been adjudged as the second most employable job in the world. Well, after ICT, and really, if we take it very seriously, sport can take a lot of youth off the street, off social vices, and also get a lot of revenue for federal, state, or local government. That's it. A food for thought there concerning sport development in Nigeria. Grassroots sport must be supported, and we need corporate social responsibility from these corporate organizations to support Nigerian sport to thrive at international level. That's it there. Right now, quickly, let's look at the update concerning the NBA games we play earlier today. Let's look at those games. As we look at the result, Detroit Pistons, their Pistons went to sleep. They lost against Oklahoma City Thunder, 112 to 124. Extra 12 points there. Golden State Warriors, good one for Stephen Curry. He was able to at least be on a superlative form against New Orleans Pelicans, 130 to 108. 28 extra points ahead of New Orleans Pelicans. Miami Heat, they were on heat, but they lost out against Milwaukee Bucks, who scored 122 against Miami Heat, 114. Dallas Mavericks, maverick enough to win that game, 125 ahead of Memphis Grizzlies, who scored 110 in that game. Well, good one for Dallas Mavericks. And for Utah Jazz, 102 they scored against Denver Nuggets of Colorado. Jokic there, good one for Jokic and his team. Denver Nuggets winning convincingly, 8 extra points against Utah Jazz, 102 to 110. And for Orlando Magic, the Magic went to sleep. They tried their best, but they were not magical enough as they lost out to Los Angeles Lakers, 106 to 103, who actually did well. They struggled, but they were able to win that game. The likes of LeBron James winning for that Los Angeles Lakers there by scoring more points ahead of other teams. They also give you update there. Looking at what Stephen Curry did, just a glimpse of it. You look at that particular dunking. It was a fantastic one from Stephen Curry. Good one for Stephen Curry. Helping Golden State Warriors to also win their game by extra 28 points. Just to give you updates concerning the NBA, our own league also, we need to also always talk about it, even though right now it's into different category of 4 in different cities in Nigeria. We'll continue to give you updates concerning the NBBF Basketball League. Right now, we cross over to talk about a boxing bout that happened between Cameroonian Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Let's look at that focus. We quickly talk about it. A lot of people believe that Tyson Fury did not win that particular bout, that Francis Ngannou won that fight. Let's listen to Olawale Peters concerning this fight. If you look at this fight, it was obvious that, yes, Francis Ngannou was coming for the first time, switching from martial arts to boxing. But he really gave Tyson Fury a good run for his money, dumping him on the 3rd round, and in fact, they had to use a split decision, which everyone in the whole world knows that it seems it was Ngannou night.
Okay, I listened and I watched the interview by Ngannou after the fight, and he said yes, he knew that if the fight gets to split decision, he's going to lose, because they are looking at him as someone that is coming for the first time, is a debutant. And we are talking about someone that have been there before. So, and this boxing, it's all about business, it's all about money. A lot of people have put in their money in there and they don't really want to lose. But he will not stop fighting until he breaks that jinx. So like rightly said, it would be a shame for Tyson Fury to even have accepted that victory. A shame in the sense that someone is coming for the first time and he gave you that tough time. Now, if you look at the boxing regulation very well, if you elbow your opponent, it's a point deduction for you. If you elbow your opponent, it's a point deduction for you. But the elbow, there was during the, I think around 4 or 5, that Tyson Fury elbowed him.
Maybe out of serious beating.
In which the judges counted as a punch for Tyson Fury. That gave Tyson Fury more points, which is supposed to be point deduction. And if you look at the split decision, it is a 94-95. 96, 93, and 95, 94. So 2 for Tyson Fury and 1 for Ngannou. So if that elbow have been taken, I think they have a VAR, like they have in football also, to review
that particular
moment, that particular situation, probably we won't be talking about what we're talking now. We'll be talking about Tyson Fury trying to prepare for a rematch. So I'm not really surprised. You know how they do their things now. It's from Africa. How will someone from Africa just overtake someone
world champion
that have been there for years? Take it or leave it. Politics play in, corruption plays in one way or the other. But I'm very happy for him the way he won. You know, it's better for the whole world to see that, oh, he was cheated, than for him to say that, oh, I lost in the first round or second round. So that means that he still have a future in the boxing arena. I'm very, very happy for him. Like I said, Tyson Fury should be ashamed of himself for what really, really happened. Don't be surprised. In the next 1 or 2 days, they will come out, just like we have in VAR, a very clear decision that you don't even need VAR to tell you that this is an offside or this is a foul. They will ignore and they will come out and apologize. However, the 3 points will not be returned back to the owner. The same thing here. The elbow that Tyson Fury gave him, which is supposed to be a point deduction for Tyson Fury, will not be given back to him. Everybody, the whole world, have seen that this is a daylight robbery against our own because it's the Cameroon.
Of course.
And Cameroon is just our neighbor from Canada.
Yeah, even that fight, we saw 2 Nigerian fighters there. Yes. Kamaru Usman was there. Israel Adesanya was there. They went to hug him, giving him so much more motivation. But you look at that fight, I want to bring something out. Did you notice that the invisibility of Tyson Fury was actually exposed that night by Francis Ngannou? Tyson Fury fought with Deontay Wilder 3 times. They drew 1, he won twice. He defeated so many. He has been an unbeaten boxer, professional boxer, heavyweight category. In fact, twice he has been challenged by Alexander Usyk, but he has dodged it twice. Could it mean that he already knew that anything could happen? Because Francis Ngannou, in fact, no one saw this coming. A lot of people thought it was going to be maybe after 2 rounds, he should be out. In fact, he was bragging that he was going to spark him out, he was going to do this, but it never happened. It was surprising. If you look at his face, it was obvious that he was shocked that that guy could go that extent. Okay,
I think I'll give it to the trainers of Francis, what they did.
Mike Tyson.
I'll give it to him. And what he did was, you look at what Tyson Fury normally uses as an advantage, and how are you going to counter it? And what are the advantage that he has over his opponent? His height is 6.9.
The hand, the jab.
The jab. Then number 2, his weight is 275. So those are the 2 advantages that he has over his opponent. So what Francis did most of the time is dodging. And if you look at the build of Francis too, he's heavy. Yes, Francis weighs 257, while Tyson Fury is 267. Tyson Fury is 6.9 in terms of height, while he is 6.7. So he has all the advantage. But what he did more of leg work, and that is what Anthony Joshua has failed to work on. So Francis did more of leg work, and when you do that leg work, you make your opponent to be boring, to be tired. Is one of the reasons why Mike Tyson also bites Evander Holyfield from serious punch. So, and that is the reason why also, if you really watch the match, the reason why Tyson Fury was very, very angry, and he gave him that elbow, not a punch. So it means if Mike Tyson used what he fell for, what affected his career. He saw that and put that into Francis Ngannou. And it worked yesterday. If not because of the partial charges, it worked yesterday. It would have been a different story today. But I think it should continue from where it stopped. It's a very good one. A good one there. We're just reviewing that boxing bout between Tyson Fury and talking about Ngannou, Francis, the Cameroonian, who really did well. That bout was his first professional boxing, and he did well, but almost, in fact, he fell Tyson Fury in the 3rd round. But right now, that particular bout went to Tyson Fury on split decision, but really, the whole world saw what happened there. We're just trying to review that particular fight. And now, if Ngannou continues this way, very soon, he's going to get one of those belts, either from the Fury himself or
or he will cross over to see maybe if he can fight against Usyk, Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and all of them. Before we go, quickly, let's run through some transfer stories. Real Madrid won permanent deal for Kepa Arrizabalaga of Chelsea, and also the last one still, Chelsea are keen on Georgia and Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamadashvili. Well, those are the two stories that we have for you. Quickly, just two in one.
Okay, I think the problem of Chelsea is not goalkeeping.
So Arrizabalaga can go.
Arrizabalaga is doing very well in Real Madrid now. That he has improved from the Arrizabalaga that we know at Chelsea. So that shows that his psyche has really changed. And the goalkeeper that we have currently now, Sanchez, is not a bad goalkeeper also. So the goalkeeping is not a problem of Chelsea. Their problem has been that they don't have a 0.9, and they need time also before they can transform to the team that can compete for Premier League. Just like the Arsenal team that you are seeing now, it's like a work of about 3, 4, 5 years that everybody is seeing right now. So they shouldn't be in a hurry to make it to the top 4. It's a process that they should take one after the other. I know you are setting the trap because all your transfer news today is all about Chelsea. But
I didn't make the transfer.
It's a very good one.
I didn't make the transfer story, but because you have actually ignited, I was lying though, gently, let me use that Nigerian English, but now you've ignited it. But we saw what happened already. How market Chelsea and
well, the market has been the way it is, and today they will die, tomorrow they will wake up. They are like Abiku currently right now. An
average Chelsea fan will always want to find one excuse to come around. Seriously, good one for Chelsea. Well, maybe let's then get about 4 goalkeepers joined as one. Let's see what that particular goalkeeper will be doing for Chelsea. But from the way it is, yeah, looking at Mamadashvili of Valencia, maybe they will get him. But for Chelsea, all the youngsters they are buying seem not to be working. Maybe next season, let's wait and see what's going to be happening there. We've been in studio with Olawale Peters, and he has done a wonderful job analyzing all the sporting stories that we have for you. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here.
Yes, I'm Adeni G. Shafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.